Today marks the final day of our inaugural season of Homegrown Hotspur battling Brexit. Finally got it right. Wouldn't believe it. There's something else you won't believe, but you'll find out after the very intro, and it's to do with the FA Cup. I bet you will not bloody believe it. We take on Leicester today. It's their final chance to maybe have a bit of a swan song as champions. They've not quite retained it, as you're already well aware. After the intro, let's see if they're anywhere. Probably should have thought that rhyming through a bit better, shouldn't I? Goodness sake. Welcome back to Homegrown Hotspur then. How has things been going since we got defeated by Arsenal? Rather well, bar that 1-0 loss against Stoke, the little cheeky sausages. Change in formation seems to have sorted all our problems out, including getting us through to the final of the FA Cup. Yes, that was rather unexpected. 3-0, 3-1, 1-0, 0-1, 1-0. So it started off well. We've now struggled to score in the past 3 games, only scoring 2 out of those 3. And even against weaker opposition, that should have been. Idiot. Oh, dear me. As you can tell, the stresses and strains of a long season are now taking their toll upon me, particularly having to play with a young player in goal. Some days he's absolutely tremendous, others he's utterly, utterly shocking. Either way, it's not fantastic to be relying upon a 20-year-old in goal when he's English. I don't know why that matters. In fact, I just realised, looking at the squad view, that you're currently seeing as well, we've got 2 Welsh players and absolutely 0 Scottish players. And that is not okay. I've just done the same symbol twice if you hadn't realised. Well done for those of you that did. As you can see, morale is not fantastic at the moment, so this is just prime time to be going into the last day of the season if we didn't have the FA Cup final coming straight after that. And if you hadn't noticed, we have the delights of dirty, bloody Leeds. Dirty Leeds. Where are Leeds at the moment? 9th in the Championship. So this is literally all they've got to play for. We're not doing well against the weaker, quote-unquote, sides that we happen to be playing. So, this is not going to go well, is it? No, it's bloody well not. One of you decided it would be a good idea to rename Nick back to Nickelback. Unless his middle name is something remotely close to it, I'm not adding it in. His name's Nick Back. Well, he's from Sheffield. Boring bloody Sheffield. That's 2 shots I've taken towards Yorkshire today. Maybe I should bloody well stop. A question for you before we get into today's game and the final game of this very 2016-2017 season, bar the FA Cup. Last league game. Should have said that. Idiot. If you would like to see a season review, comment section down below. Let me know. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but it'd be nice to gauge your level of interest. See, trying to involve you all. Aren't I nice? I am. That just answered my own question. So we're off to the King Prawn, and it is sold out. We've got Mossy Moss, Jonathan Moss refereeing. He's only sent 6 players off, so that can only bode well, obviously. Wes Morgan is away on international duty, as is Damari Gray. Do you want to know where Jonathan Onoma is? He's also on international duty, but he's not in the first team because he has been segregated to the under-23s. That is unfortunate for, you know what I'm don't know. Just no. It's not because of that. It's because he's a naughty little sausage and he keeps on throwing his toys out of his pram because about the contract stuff. His agent wants 40 grand a week. He's on 5. That is unreasonable. Unreasonable. Even asked him to sack his agent. Not interested. Cheeky little sausage. This game is still vitally important. If West Ham and Man City both win and we fail to do so, Man City will certainly overtake us. And West Ham could catch us if they win by 3 goals or more. If we draw, we're pretty safe unless Man City have a huge overturn of goals. and that's 9 as it currently stands. Unlikely, but stranger things have happened. They have Watford, who are 7th actually, so that's unlikely. Basically, as long as we win, we're keeping our end of the bargain. They can't catch us. Neither of them can catch us if we win. So that's the best way to go about it today. That's not bad, considering the upheaval and whole entire change of squad that we've had since the start of this season. If you were to say 3rd position in the Premier League, yes, we're massively behind the top 2. And in fact, they are still going at it hammer and tong to decide who the champion is. So that's beautiful, that the fact that it's gone right down to the wire. There's a point in it, a point and a goal in it. Arsenal having the additional point, United having the additional goal. So all still to play for. Both away, both at teams that are struggling. Burnley, who are already relegated, for Arsenal, and Sunderland, who actually are doing okay despite the plight of their real-life counterparts. For this final game of the season, we line up with Freddie Woodman in goal, a back four from left to right of Rose, Keane, Dyer, remembered at this time, and Walker. A midfield four of Hughes, Ledley, Ali and Young, with Kane and Berahino up top, because Afobe has been absolutely shocking these past few games. Looks like Leicester are playing slightly more defensively in the full-back positions, perhaps trying to defend against the likes of Young and Hughes, even though Hughes cuts inside. That would make zero sense. Albrighton is injured, so what do we do when there's an injured player? We tackle the absolute balls off him. That's kind of an interesting phrase to use when you're referring to balls and tackle. Yes, it is. Because you win the ball in a tackle. Nothing else. See? Straight face and everything. Managed to condition myself out of making those silly Willy references. Not going to hear any of those again. Silly Willy. See, told you. Nothing. Nothing at all. Clean. Go out and... oh, for goodness sake. Happy? Is that all we can... oh, for... balls. Let's just go. We begin this final day of the season then with Hughes running into space and with a shocking pass to absolutely no one. Dyer into Kane. Kane dropping deep. Picks the ball up. Takes on one man. Can he play in a Berahino? He does. Berahino turns and Schmeichel equal to it. Now, if playing on a structure mentality today, I figured we're away. We need a bit more structure. Ledley's on the edge of the box. And oh, what a rocket! Oh, did not expect that. It's only his second goal of the season, and he's launched one into the top corner. Schmeichel couldn't do anything about it. Oh, filth. Absolute filth. Berahino, just a nice little slide rule pass. And Joe Ledley, you don't expect it from the man, although he's got 14 finishing, so maybe I should. Although looking at his penalty rates this season, no, absolutely awful. Ajoa beats Dyer in the air, and Woodman just plucks it up. Plucks it up. I don't know why he'd be plucking it up. Amati beats Kane. Dyer beats Dele Alli. We can always rely on you. Pings it out to Hughes, who's lost out to Mahrez. Brighton cutting inside. Now Keane beats Vardy in the air. Hernandez into Mahrez. Oh, that's almost rhyming. We can have that. And Vardy's offside again. Walker with a throw into Hughes. Hughes plays a long ball out to Ledley. Is he going to have another go? He has. Schmeichel holds onto that one, though. Schmeichel with a long kick forward. Ledley's come a long way to collect that. Hughes nods it in onto Berahino. Berahino into Young. Young back to Dele Alli, advancing forward. Kane into Berahino. This is lovely build of play. Oh, what a great pass to Young. And Young has ruined a fantastic chance. He should have squared. He had options to his left, and he failed to use them. Hernandez tries to set Vardy off, just passing the halfway line, running down that right-hand flank. Cutting inside now into Ajoa. Barely scoops it over. Young with a corner. Can't beat the first man. Berahino knocks it back into the mixer. Well, that's a cliche. Walker now driving onto that right-hand side. He puts a great ball in, but no one's on the end of it. Dele Alli's done really well in the tackle. Berahino tries to set off Kane, not known for his pace. He's run into the channel, though. Oh, Hughes is there. Hughes just needs to... he just needed to square it. There were options in the middle. Hughes plays an easy ball to Dele Alli. Young waiting for the run of Walker. Walker into Berahino. He's hit the post. And now Mahrez can clear for Leicester. Oh no, he's run out of play. What a daft little solid. Oh my word. Fuchs with a free kick. Ledley stands his ground in the wall. But big news. Arsenal have gone ahead at Burnley. United looks like they're still drawing at the moment, or are they losing? United are currently losing against Sunderland. Kane plays a great ball into Berahino, and that is poor effort. I have no idea how I'm supposed to approach these team talks where you're 1-0 up. And you're doing okay, but every time I do them, I either manage to demotivate them enough so that the opposition gets back into the game, or at least they go and concede one and we end up drawing from a rather comfortable position. So we're not doing anything. We're leaving it as it is. We've got one player who's complacent, which is Dele Alli. We'll cope with that and bring him off if we need to. We've got options on the bench. Maybe we'll see Keziah Sterling making an appearance on the final day of the season. He's not going to get a chance in the FA Cup. I'm not willing to risk it unless we're like 4-0 up. Just because I want to win silverware. Silverware in the first season? What's that nonsense? Let's just go. Mahrez cutting inside for Leicester. Rose has done really well. And Ajoa, just over again. He's getting closer and closer. And just as I said that, he's now injured. Slimani now on for Leicester in replacement of Ajoa, who's injured. He's equally as good in the air. So we're going to still struggle. Berahino now advancing for Tottenham, though. Berahino needed options, and Slimani can't quite run onto his own ball. Berahino does well in the air against Huth, surprisingly. Now, Dele Alli, he's managed to get there, but that's it. Slimani holding up the ball well for Vardy. Vardy now running into that space that Slimani's opened up. Back to Mvia. Hernandez, what a drive that was, and Woodman just tips it over. Brighton whips in the corner for Leicester. Hughes is there, but Mvia gives him a second chance, and Ledley's there for the second time. This hasn't quite finished, though. Luis Hernandez, I believe. Vardy. Hughes really strong in the tackle. Kane, now all he needs to do is spring Berahino off. He has done, but he can't beat Huth in a hoof race. Quite tentative still at the Chris Bowl. Slimani now running into space for Leicester. Vardy, Keane is there. Having Keane and Kane in the same team is a nightmare for Freudian slips. Slimani goes for an effort and it's wide. Dyer takes the free kick into Hughes. Hughes plays the ball into Kane. Kane's dropped deep. Finds Berahino with a weird twisty turny thing. I have no idea what's going on there. Hughes again, he's tackled by Simpson and he clears the ball. Dyer does really well in the air. Berahino back to Kane now. Kane outright wide to Rose. Rose whips the ball in. Can Berahino get there? Fuchs gets there ahead of him. Hughes tries to play in one of two players, fails to play in either. Hughes can't get there again. Mahrez cutting inside, now plays off Vardy. Vardy trying to counter. He's got an option ahead of him. He's got a loan. Slimani, this is lovely. And Woodman does incredibly well. Now is the time for changes. Berahino's struggling. Benikophobia, on you come, sunshine. A few changes. Joe Ledley moves across into the box-to-box midfield role. Eric Dyer moves forward into midfield. Lascelles comes on for Dele Alli. That will be it for now. 15 minutes to hold on. Looks like at the moment the title is with Arsenal. Leicester have now gone attacking. They're really pushing for this goal. Young clears the corner that's come in from Brighton. Only as far as Amati. Hughes punts another long ball forward. Fortunately, Kane is there. Brighton plays a great ball into Slimani, who's got a fantastic first touch. Vardy punts it over. Should have done a lot better with that one. This would be prime time for Leicester to score now. We're into 3 minutes plus stoppage. Simpson whips the ball into, and it's gone in. I was just saying it, wasn't I? I was just saying it. Fortunately for us, it looks like Man City. That is ridiculous. What a ridiculous goal to concede. Brighton from an almost impossible angle. Woodman, awful positioning. Hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. Can we get one back? Can we get back into the driving seat? Walker into Dyer. Dyer finds Hughes. Hughes needs to look up. He hasn't done so, but fortunately Rose gets the ball in. Kane and nodded over. 40 seconds left for us to hold on. We're level on points with Man City. We cannot lose now. West Ham have not done the business, fortunately, but we are going to go through into the Champions League again for a second season as long as this doesn't go in, and it hasn't. That is it. We have cemented third place by less than convincing circumstances, but we've done it nonetheless. Third place. Woo! Well, that's not helpful, is it? I'm just going to not do that anymore. There we have it. Equal on points with Man City, who came away with a 3-0 victory at Watford. Arsenal obtained the title. United failed to do the business, who lost to Sunderland 2-0 on the final day. Arsenal beating Burnley away 2-0, securing that title for them. If we want to improve for next season, we've got a long way to go. 16 points away from the eventual leaders is a million miles away, so a lot of work is required in the summer. But first, we do have the FA Cup final, which will be covered in the next episode. That brings us to the end of this episode of Homegrown Hotspur. If you enjoyed it, pop a like on there for me. Come on, a like for Champions League football next season. Surely that should be enough. If you haven't already done so, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.